what's next? What were you saying?
I assume you're somewhat familiar now with generating basic particle
All right.
simulations and using some forces to control them, as well as
Nope.
rendering some dots using Redshift. Now, it's very important to introduce the next very fundamental concept of particle groups. You might remember that if I create some sort of emitter, it automatically creates a particle group.
Oh, I love that I have this
Let's
now.
talk about this for a moment.
Okay.
If you select
Particle groups.
the emitter, you will see that in the properties, the first of the properties says group. It has the name of the particular group. Now, what I'm going to do is call this first emitter. And I'm going to call this group group 1, just so that we have a variation of the name. You will see that the first emitter now, the name has changed because this is an explicit link. So anything we generate using this emitter.
What'd you do? Oh, good God. Son of
Now, it's very group and
Yeah.
has the name just so that we have a variation of the names. You will see that the
Jesus
first
Christ, I
emitter,
really have to pay attention.
the name has changed because this is an
Oh, I did it backwards. Shit. Wait, no I didn't. He just did this. Right, group 1. See.
link.
This name is
So anything we
linked to
generate
group.
using
Okay, I see.
this emitter
I follow.
is being generated in this group. And you
Right.
remember we use that in Cloner. So let's do that for a moment. I'm going to create a cloner. I'm going to create a cube, make it smaller, make the cube a child of the cloner, bring it down here, and tell the cloner to be in object mode, and let's drag this group in here. Make it smaller, make the cube a child of the cloner, bring it down here, and tell the cloner to be in object mode.
Put the cube in the cloner, bring the cloner down here, put the cloner in object mode,
And let's drag this group in here.
and then, huh?
So this is nothing different than
You
this
grab
is
the-
nothing different than what we did object mode, and let's drag this group in here. So this
Oh, you took the group into this thing? Right. What the hell are you doing?
is nothing different than what we did earlier with that beautiful
Oh.
simulation, that generated 50,000 cubes. So here's the question: what
That didn't work.
if I want make the cube a child of the cloner, bring it down here, and tell the cloner to be in object mode, and let's drag this group in here.
The cloner is in object mode, and I put group 1 in group 1.
So this is nothing different than
And cloner there, right.
what we did earlier with that beautiful simulation that generated 50,000 cubes. So here's the question: what
Oh.
if I want a different emitter to emit different objects? So let's go and create
Nailed
another
it.
emitter. I'm just going to click basic emitter.
Slow down, man. Jesus. So I just hit this and hit play, and it didn't work for some reason. I just had to reset the timeline. And now we get cubes. Cool. And now
It's
you're...
going to create the emitter in exactly the same position as the previous one. So I can
Bam.
just get my move tool and move it out of the way. And it's called basic emitter again. I'm going to call this second emitter. And I'm going to call this group 2. You can use any names you want. So the second emitter now is linked to group 2.
Right.
So group 2 holds the particles for the
Can you change that? Can you change... Oh yeah, you can. I imagine he's going down that line
Now,
of thought.
just because I'm going to go nuts, I'm going to drag these here so we have the first emitter here and the second emitter here. Otherwise, my brain doesn't function properly. So just like we did earlier, I'm going to call
Alright, that stresses me out. I'm doing this.
this cloner 1 and make a copy. Control dragging down here, call this cloner 2, and in
God, I wish I could make this bigger.
Instead of a cube, I'm going to make a beautiful sphere. Make it smaller and make it a child. Now, the clone.
Okay. So, cloner. Circle in the cloner. Make this bad boy smaller. Are you keeping him?
Cloner is still linked to group 1. So
Nope, you made this an object. Let's move this over just because I can't see shit. Oh, they're tiny. Wait, no, that's not the sphere. That's... Where the hell did my sphere go? Oh, it's right there. Disappeared. Why did you disappear?
you can always go and change it to group 2. And let's rewind and press play. Let's see what happens.
Motherfucker.
Function property. So just like we did earlier, I'm going to call this cloner 1 and make a copy. Control dragging down here.
Oh shit. That's not what I wanted. Don't delete my cubes. Keep my cubes. Delete this cloner. Take this cloner. Duplicate.
Call this cloner 2, and instead of a cube, I'm going to make a beautiful sphere. Smaller.
Beautiful.
And make it a child. Now,
Beautiful.
the cloner is still linked to group 1, so you can always go and change it to group 2. And let's rewind and press play this.
So under this cloner, it's group 1. I want group 2. Bam. Hit play. Watch this work. Yes. Okay, I understand what he's trying to teach me. So it's the cloner. Under the cloner, the group is the emitter. So this is the emitter. This is group number 2. These two come together. And you have to tell the cloner what group to come from. I see what you're going for.
So you can see now that group 1 is emitting cubes.
Right.
You've linked the group 1 to cloner 1, which is cloning cubes. And the second emitter is emitting in group 2. There you go, second emitter in group 2. And group 2 is being used in cloner 2 to create the sphere. All right, everything seems very straightforward, but not very helpful. Well, let me show you exactly how you can use a group to do more fancy stuff. Let me just fold these so there are fewer things here to look at. Now, I'm going to create, from the Simulate menu, a turbulence. And just set the settings somewhere around here. When you do this little triangle, 1, 2, 3.
What? Turbulence? Is that what you did? Turbulence.
Things look beautiful. Fewer things here to look at. Now, I'm going to create, from the Simulate menu, a turbulence. And just set the settings somewhere around here. When you do this little triangle, 1, 2, 3, things look beautiful. That's my
1, 2, 3. Good to know.
Press play, and you will see that both particle streams
Whoa.
are reacting to the turbulence. And funny enough, this is one of the most fundamental ways you're going to use the particle system. Any force that is not a child of any group will be applied to all groups.
Right.
Now, if that sounds a bit complex, let me
No, I
show
get
you
it.
a little thing. So
If it's
again,
not
you
parented
can
in
see-
anything, hold on, let me see if I get this. If it's not parented in anything, it's going to affect everything in the scene. But what you're going to tell me is I can parent it, so it only affects one, not the other.
all the particles
Tell me I'm right.
are receiving that turbulence, and they're sort of flying away from their straight trajectory. If I
Tell
take
me
the
I'm
turbulence
right.
and I make it a child of group 1,
Oh.
watch what will happen.
Of the
If you
group.
then press play, you will see that
Ah. So the groups are very important. I would not have known that. So I put it in group 1 for the cubes. So the cubes are going to go crazy. The circles are going to stay straight.
Group 2 doesn't.
Damn.
Now that's fascinating.
Well,
Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to
I mean,
grab
it is
these
pretty
two
cool.
and I'm going to cut them. So I have them in the clipboard, so we can only see particles. It may be a bit clearer to see it that way. So all particles look the
that's
same,
pretty clear.
and yet the group 1 particles are the ones that react to the turbulence.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's try something else so you can understand even better what the system does.
Cool.
Let's go to the simulate and let's create the gravity. And let's make it a bit less so they don't really fall down fast. I'm going to leave the gravity in the root level. So I'm not making it a child of anything. And try and guess what's going to happen. I'm going to rewind. Enough time to
It
think
applies
about
gravity.
Press play and see.
Is he fucking
Look
with
at
me?
that. So the gravity, not being a child of any of these groups,
But if I
being
put it
applied
as a child
to
of group
particle.
2,
whereas the turbulence, being a child of one group, is only applied to group 1.
I
over
see.
here. And I can actually
That's cool.
take it and put it in group 2.
I did not know that.
Rewind and press play, and now you will see that the turbulence and the gravity is applied to group 2, but only the gravity in group 1. And this is the bedrock to understand how we
I mean, this is
control
beautiful. What does this look like?
on a more granular level. So now that we've talked on the very surface about one of the main functionalities of the groups, I'm going to introduce one more thing.
Goddamn beautiful.
It's called the multi-group. Now,
Oh,
what
shit.
happens if I want to use both these groups to use them using a MoGraph cloner to clone some cubes? So I'm going to paste back my cloners and get rid of cloner 2. So I'm going to keep cloner 1. Now, remember cloner 1 is linked to group 1. So
Yep.
you will see that only one is going to generate objects. But I want both of these groups to generate the same cubes. Now, you may be inclined to make a copy of this and use the other group. It will work, but then you have 2 cloners. If for any reason you want to combine groups in a way that you are going to use those particle positions to do one thing, then you can use the multi-group. So let's create a multi-group. Let's drag it down here. In the multi-group, I'm going to put the groups group 1 and group 2.
Group 1,
And
group
the
2.
cloner, instead of cloning on group 1, I'm going to clone on the multi-group. And let's
Multi-group.
rewind and press play.
I wonder
Now
what's
you will
going
see
to
that
happen.
Although the particles still retain their individual
That is very cool.
operations, whatever we've done here, group 2 has turbulence and both groups react to the gravity, yet they are grouped in this multi-group, which then we can use in a cloner or in some other circumstances. So groups and multi-groups are going to become a very frequent thing you're going to use
Right.
in particle simulations. Remember, this is just an overview, and we will see more things related
Sorry.
to groups in the more detailed series that will follow.
Right.
In the next video, we're going to add conditions to the mix to show you how powerful this concept can be.
Okay.
Now that we have a basic understanding on
So, let me sum this up to see if I remember. If you add a emitter, it comes with a particle group. That particle group is, say I have my cloner. That particle group is how you make that connected. And then inside of the group, you can put effectors such as gravity and turbulence. So if I want to put gravity and turbulence and turn down gravity, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? Now, and I'm just going to delete all these. Second group, first group, group 1, delete all this. So now my basic emitter is using, or no, the cloner is under particle group. Particle group has turbulence and gravity applied to it. But I turned down the gravity. Haha, I do understand. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Next.